Hey guys, welcome. Hey Ray, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well. God, it's freaking hot today. Hi Josiah, hi Andy. Josiah. Y'all ready for some crepes? Gonna be fun. Do, 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 do. It is hot today. We'll give it a few minutes, let everybody log on, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Oh, it's hot. Thank you for all the likes. Appreciate it, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. We'll go ahead and get started momentarily. Hope everybody's doing good. I see Thiago is on today. Hopefully you're making crepes with us, Thiago. Hope everybody's well, safe. Golly, it's hot. What's going on? El Paso's blistering today. Well, it was yesterday too, but I guess because I've been out all day. Hope everybody's doing good. We will be making crepes today. Crepes, crepes, crepes. I'm actually going to be doing sweet crepes, not the savory, but I put the savory on there for y'all to try that as well. I did speak with somebody today, and they did tell me, wow, I didn't know you could do savory crepes. And yeah, you definitely can. Thiago's ready. Woohoo! Thank you, Ty. I appreciate the love. Yeah, so somebody asked me today, wow, you can do savory crepes. And I said, yeah, you definitely can. So it's kind of like making a quesadilla, just putting everything in it. All right, we're going to go ahead and get ready and started in like 2-3 minutes. We'll go ahead and get started. We'll be making savory crepes today. Sweet crepes today. Wow, I was talking about savory and I got stuck. Sweet crepes. I will be making peanut butter banana crepes today with probably a chocolate drizzle. I think I have chocolate. Let me actually get that chocolate, see if I have it. 1 second. All right. Woohoo! Andres, Ivan, and Giovanni are ready to go. Albuquerque. Woohoo! Thumbs up for Albuquerque, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. I don't know about you guys in Albuquerque, but it is hot in El Paso. Hot, hot, hot. And I decided to pop on a chef coat again, and I'm rethinking it right now. Haven't worn this one in probably, well, this one's new actually. I just got it because I'm part of meeting next week. But I haven't worn a chef coat in probably a month or two. Thank you, Ro. Appreciate the love. God, and then it makes me... Ooh, it's hot over there too. Yikes. It's super hot, Lucy. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. It's crazy. How's it going, Lucy? You guys excited? Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and let's get started. So, okay, cool. We got about 12 people live, 11, cool. Like I said, most of the time everybody is busy. I know things are kind of jumping back to normal, so it's getting a little crazy. But I leave it on the videos on the Camp Puga. That way you get an opportunity to always go back, tell somebody about it, and have them share the recipe as well. I got a lot of good feedback from the cheesecakes. A lot of people really liked them. I'm really excited that happened. I'm sorry about the glare going on in my glasses. It's this plate. Aha. Okay, so yeah, I got a lot of good... Yeah, I was excited for crepes. Woohoo! So I got a lot of good feedback on the cheesecake. I'm excited it worked for everybody. It worked really good here. It was a big fan here at my house. I got a lot of good compliments about it. It's hot like we got baked. Oof, sorry. That's how I feel right now. I'm a little baked. So we did do cheesecakes last week. It went really, really well. A lot of people loved it. So you guys go ahead and keep using that recipe. It's a super easy 4-ingredient recipe to make some cheesecakes. You can throw some stuff in there or just do it nice and plain. I got a lot of good feedback about that. So you guys keep doing it. Keep rocking on with those cheesecakes. It's a lot of fun. Again, go back into the El Paso Neighborhood Learning for PBS. Post your pictures in there. Let people know. I posted a thing today about crepes. Go in there, post pictures of your kiddos doing it. It really gets people involved with what we're doing. And as well, post pictures in Camp Puga. That way people can start seeing what we're up to. And then also, remember, as always, share the video. That way we can reach as many kiddos as possible. So we will be making crepes today. What we will be using today... Hi, Bernadette. We'll be using 2 eggs today, which I already have. What I was going to let you all know is you can use a hand mixer in a bowl. You can use a blender. You can use a whisk if you're just going to whisk it in your bowl. You can use all different things for today's batter. I'm using a blender because it makes it easier to mix everything. Most of you do have a blender. Most of you have a hand mixer. And if you don't, you can just whisk it. You can do it either way. I try to make it easier for the kiddos. So I try to show you things that that you could find in your own kitchen, which is pretty much a blender, a hand mixer, or even a whisk or a fork. So I'm going to be using the blender today, and we'll be going over that. So I'm going to be using 2 eggs today. Oh. I will be using a cup of flour. I got my Great Value all-purpose flour. I'm going to be using some salt. Let me grab the salt. My trusty Great Value salt. What else? Vanilla. Super cheap vanilla at Walmart, 97 cents. Super cheap. Oops. Okay. Water, which comes from the sink. Milk. I don't drink milk anymore. I used to drink a lot of milk, not anymore. I got some milk for today. Probably won't use it after this. Some butter. I got unsalted butter. You can use whatever butter you like. I like to use unsalted. That way I can kind of put my own kind of flavoring for the salt. You can use salted butter. Doesn't really matter. Either one of them works. I always usually get unsalted. That way I can control the seasoning the way I want it. If I'm going to make savory or sweet. And sugar. I also got some sugar. Great Value sugar. Again, all these ingredients super cheap, guys. no more than $5 will make you some crepes. And then you can use toppings that you already have in your household or products that we already have done throughout all of our lives. So I'm going to be using some peanut butter. We used this before. I'm going to be using some chocolate syrup. We've also used this before. And then I don't know if we've used bananas, but we're just going to be using some bananas today for our filling for today. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch you guys over into the blender. That way you guys have a better view of what we're doing. And hopefully it's not too hard for you. What you also will be using is going to be a pan on the stove, obviously, to cook your crepes. So parents, this is where you're really going to have to jump in with your kiddos, interact with them, making sure that they're not getting burned. But if you want them to really use the stove, just stand by them, make sure that they're not burning themselves. One, they're keeping a good distance from the pan. And then you're also going to be using a spatula. I have a sandwich bendy spatula. You can use one of these if you have one. You can use a regular spatula. The reason I use this one, the big one, is because I can flip it over completely and it won't tear on me. Or you can just your regular spatula, offset spatula, cake spatula, anything that's pretty much going to get underneath that crepe to go ahead and flip it over. So I'm going to go ahead and switch you guys over to the blender. I'm going to give you another side view. You'll hear my voice, but you'll see the blender, and then we will work at it like that. Let me see how I can do this with working with one hand. You know what? Let me... Whoa. Alrighty, so if you want to go ahead and get your eggs, your 2 eggs, make sure you get your 2 eggs ready. You're going to crack those in your bowl or your blender or your... your blender, your hand mixer, any of that. I already have my eggs in here. So I have 2 eggs in my mixer already. Why isn't it working with me? Okay. If you can't see the blender itself, go ahead and swipe the comments to the left. And you can go ahead and... Ooh, there's a lot of people live today. Cool. You can go ahead and swipe the comments to the left, and that way you can see what's going on. I'm going to leave the comments in there. I know they're in my way, but it gives me an opportunity to answer questions that anybody may have. So I already have the 2 eggs in my blender. You can go ahead and crack your eggs in your bowl, in your mixer, in your blender, your 2 eggs. So go ahead and do that. And then we're going to go ahead and get 1 cup of flour. So open up your flour if it's not open already. I'm going to get my cup. Again, a lot of people do not have measuring cups at home. I use a basic little girl's cup. That way you guys are seeing that I'm using products that you should already have at home. So I'm going to get a cup of flour, 1 cup. Okay. Go ahead and have 1 cup of flour. Now I'm going to use a pinch of salt. So what I like to do about doing a pinch of salt is I'll go ahead and put some salt on my palm like this. So I have some salt. And then I'll go ahead and pinch it. That's a pinch of salt. And then I'll put it in there. That's all you need. Yes, that extra salt, you're just going to want to go ahead and throw it away. Put it down the sink, put it down the trash, put it back in your salt container. You do not have to... Hi, Cindy. Thanks for joining us. You do not have to put it back into the container if you want to. Okay, now we're going to be doing a teaspoon of vanilla. Another cool thing about this is you don't have to just use vanilla. You can use any flavoring you want. I have a lot of raspberry filling because I love raspberry. I use raspberry in a lot of things, especially my icing. But you can go ahead and use whatever flavoring. Today I'm going to be using vanilla, and I'll be using 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Again, I'm not going to use any measuring things. I'm going to use just a basic spoon. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, I'm going to put that to the side. Okay, I'm going to get a 1/2 cup of water. Again, I'm going to use this and fill it halfway. Okay, 1/2 cup of water. I'm going to do 3/4 cup. So this is a cup. I'm going to divide this into 3. So 1, 2, 3 This is a full cup. That's a lie, I did that wrong. Okay, so I'm gonna, yes, so this is a full cup. I'm gonna divide it into 3. Usually it'd be divided into 4. So this would be half a cup right here. This would be 1/4 of a cup. And right here, a little bit over the half, will be your 3/4 cup. If I went all the way, then it would be 4/4 of a cup, which is the actual cup. I'm gonna divide the full cup into 4, so then halves and half of the half. So I'm gonna do the 3/4 of the cup. So I'm not gonna go all the way up. I'm gonna stay at the 3/4 of a cup. If you do have a measuring cup, go ahead and use a 3/4 cup. This is just in case you do not have a cup. That's how you know how to measure a cup. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do 3/4 of a cup. Alrighty, so that you can kind of see how it's filled. So again, this is a full cup. This is probably about half a cup. This would be 1/4 of a cup, and right here it's 3/4 of a cup. I still have 1/4 left to fill, but I only need 3/4 of the cup to fill. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in here. Alrighty, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 tablespoons of butter. Now, the butter comes in a stick, and most butters are gonna have the measurement already on there for you. You see that? So you have 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons. You're gonna cut it right where it says the 3 tablespoons. That's how many you're gonna use. 3 tablespoons of butter. My butter is to room temperature, so it can mix really well. If yours is a little cold, I would put it in the microwave 10 seconds, no more than 10 seconds. Don't go crazy. Like I said, my butter is at room temperature already, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Where are they? Okay, so here it is. I'm gonna go ahead, that's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons. So I'm gonna cut it at this line right here. So I'm gonna open up my butter. Right there, so I'm gonna cut it right here. So I cut right at the 3 tablespoons, and then I'm gonna put this in my mixer or my blender. Alrighty. And then I'm gonna be doing a sweet crepe. So I am going to be adding the sugar because I want my batter to be sweet. So I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar. So I'm gonna go ahead and open my sugar. And again, I'm not gonna use any measuring spoons because I wanna make it as easy as possible if you don't have measuring spoons. I'm gonna get a regular spoon, and I'm gonna put 2 spoons of sugar in my batter. It's gonna make it sweet. Now, if I was doing savory, say one of you are gonna do a savory crepe, you wouldn't add your sugar and you could do it just like this and it would come out perfectly fine. I'm gonna do sweet crepes because I'm gonna do peanut butter and banana, and I'm gonna make my batter sweet. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 1 tablespoon of sugar, 2 tablespoons of sugar. That's all you need. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and get my top. If anybody has any questions or anything, please feel free to put them in the chat and I can go ahead and answer them for you. And hopefully I'm going at a good pace for everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, if you have a hand mixer, go ahead and start hand mixing your batter. If you have a whisk, start whisking. And if you have a blender, go ahead and turn it on. I would put it at a low speed for about 2 to 3 minutes. so I'm gonna go ahead and look at that. It's a nice consistency. It's a really milky, I'm gonna say, I don't know, a milky pancake batter. I'm gonna go ahead and pour half of it in a cup. That's probably a little bit more than half. It's gonna look a little bit chunky if your butter did not come up to room temperature completely. What I am gonna go ahead and, hi Samantha, oh crepes, yes, yummy. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna make half of my batter chocolate and half of my batter regular. I didn't think of this before and I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my top on there, lift up my little mechanism so I can put stuff in there. I'm gonna put it at a low speed and I'm gonna start adding my chocolate syrup in there to make chocolate crepes. Alrighty, so I'm done. I'm gonna go ahead and take mine off. If you're still blending and mixing, that's perfectly okay. You should be perfectly fine. I went ahead and I have regular batter here, and then I have chocolate batter here. So I'm gonna be using both. You can go ahead and leave it in the blender if you want, or you can go ahead and put it in a cup or somewhere that you can go ahead and drop it into your pan. Parents, if you are nearby, hopefully, go ahead and turn on your stove into a medium to low heat. That way the pan can start getting ready and then we can move on over to the pan. I'm going to move you all over here. Let's see. That should work for you all. Yes, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn on probably a 4. That's what I have my setting at. I have a gas. It's a low temp. I'm gonna go ahead and let that get warm. And while that is getting warm, I'm gonna go ahead and spray down my pan so that nothing will stick to it. And then I'm gonna let it heat up. This is going to be the perfect time for you to get a spatula. You can go ahead and get a cake decorating spatula. You can get plastic spatula. I have a metal one. This is my sandwich one that I use for all of my sandwiches. But you can go ahead and use whatever spatula you're going to want. We're going to give this about 2 minutes to go ahead and start getting warm. That gives you an opportunity, maybe 2 to 3 minutes for those of you who need to catch up. And then we'll go ahead and move on with this as well. Super easy ingredients, guys. Super easy recipe. Super easy method of putting this together. Like I said, I like to go ahead and put things together for you guys that are going to be easy for your kiddos to make. Something new, something different. A lot of people have never had a crepe before. So it's a super cool thing to try to get done for you all. Like I said, super easy, super cool. So parents, please make sure your kiddos are not getting burned. I don't want to get any stories that, oh, my kiddo got burned. Very watery. Yes, it is supposed to be very watery. You can go ahead and put a little bit more flour into there if you want a little bit more thick consistency. The way the thickness of it is going to lay is how the thickness of the crepe is going to be. It's still going to cook up easily. I like my crepes a lot thinner than thicker. So you could add a little bit more flour just to make the consistency a little bit more thicker if you want. I do recommend that just if it's your first time as far as flipping. This one should turn out perfectly fine. But if it happens to not, again, we're not throwing all the batter in there. We can always go back, add a little bit more flour, and do it again. That's part of cooking at the right consistency. Another thing that I probably do recommend is making it a little bit thicker. So crepe batter is supposed to be meant to put in the fridge and then serve in the morning. We're doing it on demand right now, so you probably want to make it a little bit thicker. That's a good recommendation. That way you're not dealing with all of the hardiness of flipping it over or the thickness of your crepe. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and do the vanilla for first. I'm gonna put enough that I can coat kind of the pan, and then I'm gonna be able to go like this, make a circular motion to coat the bottom of the pan. This is a good size of crepe that I'm gonna want. So I'm probably gonna put anywhere from a quarter of a cup to, I wouldn't even say half a cup. I'm gonna stick with probably a quarter of a cup into the pan. Alrighty, so I have it nice and coated on the bottom. If you want, you can go a little bit side to side so that it can go ahead and start cooking each side. When you know it's going to be ready, kiddos, is when you start seeing bubbles come out from the bottom of it. Kind of like a pancake, parents. That's the easiest way to do it. You can already get the nice smells of a pancake. So you're going to want it to kind of dry out. You're going to want to see, I don't want to mess it up, but if you see that here, it kind of dries out. You want bubbles to come through. That's when you know it's ready to flip. Don't try to flip anytime sooner. Try to leave it as good enough amount of time as possible. Let it cook through. That way when you flip it, it's not going to go ahead and break it on you. So I'm going to go ahead and open my sides. So mine is breaking, so that means I'm probably going to have to go back and add a little bit more flour into it. Which is perfectly fine. Like I said, this is a trial and error kind of thing. I'm not going to make it perfect for everybody. That and it's sticking a lot. Yeah, no, not going to work. Okay, so we're going to go back and add some more flour into it. Let's see, who's here? So it was a good run that we did one. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and pour my batter, my vanilla batter back into my blender. And I'm going to go ahead and add half a cup at a time to get a better consistency, because this one, it didn't stick very well, so it's giving me a hard time. So I might have to put some oil and not spray pan. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Let's go back into our blender. And let's go ahead and add, oh, I got to figure this out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add some more flour into my batter. That way it can get a little bit thicker. Alright, so what we're going to go ahead and do is, like I said, we're going to add our mix back into our blender. Come over here. Alrighty, I need to make sure you guys can see. Okay, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and add a half a cup of flour into my mix to get a little bit of a thicker consistency. Okay, don't forget to put your top on. So this is telling me that we used a cup of flour. We're going to end up having to use a cup and a half as of right now. So let's go ahead and mix that in. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check the consistency. It's still a little watery. Let's go ahead and add another half a cup of flour. So now we're going to be at 2 cups of flour. Again, guys, this is a trial and error thing. Don't think it's going to come out perfect all the time. This is a good example to keep on going and do not give up. That was probably a half of a half. It probably was nothing. So right now we are at 2 cups of flour. Okay, let's check that. I'm gonna say we do another half a cup. So we're gonna be at 2.5 cups and we should be solid. Oh, perfect. Okay, Mark. So there you go. Not everybody's will work. A lot of it has to do also, you guys, with what is it called? The humidity in the air. That has a lot to do, especially when you guys are baking. That is something you're going to learn. That baking has a lot to do with the humidity in the air. That's going to do it a lot. And also your measurements, them coming out perfectly. That's why it's probably better to use a measuring cup. But I like to make it useful that everybody has something. So I'm going to go ahead and get started again. I'm going to put it at a 4, 5. I'm going to go ahead and get that heated up again. And then we're going to go ahead and try it again. Alrighty, so this time instead of, anybody say anything? Okay, instead of using the pan, I am gonna put a little bit of oil. That may help it a little bit as well, so that it doesn't stick as much. Put a little bit more, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move that around, make sure it's nice and coated. And I'm going to go ahead and, I don't want it to come out so much like a pancake. I want it to be more of a crepe. So I am going to move my pan around. Okay. Go ahead and let that cook. I went ahead and did chocolate. That's why mine look a little bit brown. I'm going to let them go ahead and cook, and then I'm going to go ahead and flip them. My batter here is probably a little still too thick. I'm noticing it's coming out more like a pancake, less than a crepe. But that's perfectly okay. Alrighty, so actually I'm kind of glad this one did not work, because out of the 5, 6 we've done all together, finally one of them doesn't come through. Better for us, that way we know what we need to work with next. So I'm going to go ahead and with my spatula, I'm going to go ahead and work on the edges, that way they're not sticking. See, the batter is nice and dry, it's not liquidy anymore. I have a good spatula that I can just flip it over. Got a nice crepe there. So we're going to go ahead and let that cook on one side, and then we're going to go ahead and put it on this pan over here to let it dry, and then we're going to do some more. And if you have any questions, perfect, a 4th cup, excellent, Thiago, I'm glad you got it. Remember guys, the thinner the better. You don't want anything too thick. I'm going to say this one's already too thick for me, but I'm going to go ahead and work on the next one and get a little bit better consistency. Woo. This one's going to be good. I'm going to go ahead and roll it around. Get it nice and thin. The way I'm doing this, kiddos, is I'm going ahead and circling your pan a little bit. That way you can coat the whole bottom. So it's not going to come out so thick and so small like that. You're going to actually get a nice big rounded one. So you're going to go ahead and let that cook, and then you're going to let it dry up a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and flip it. So another cool thing about these crepes is you don't have to just use regular dairy products. You can use almond milk. You can use vegan butter. I know I just saw Christy get online, and I know she's she does the vegan, which I'm jealous of because I could probably never. I like to eat, but you can definitely use almond milk. You can definitely use vegan butter. Those are alternatives to doing this. You don't have to use regular flour. You can use almond flour. So there's definitely alternative ways of doing this. All right. Okay. Now that I got it unsticked off the pan, go ahead and flip it. Beautiful. So I got a little bit of crooked edges. It's okay. I'm okay with it. Not everything's going to come out perfect. Let that cook a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more, and then we're going to go ahead and work on our fillings and toppings. I feel like I'm dancing around a lot today. Hi, Christy. Hope you're doing well. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and take this crepe out. Put it aside. I'm going to go ahead and put down a little bit of oil because my oil has been dried up a little bit. Move that around. Okay, I'm going to do another one. Get that to go all the way around. Fill in the complete circle. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and let that cook. Great, I'm glad, Christy. Go ahead and try them. Let me know how they come out, your vegan version. I would love to try that out because your all's ingredients really interest me. So it should be a lot of fun. You guys, we have a lot of great news coming for us next week. I have a meeting with some very important people for a great growth of Camp Puga. So look out for that. I can't wait to share the news with everybody and the support that all of you all have been giving me. So super exciting. Just wait and see next week. We'll have some more announcements for that. Okay, so go ahead and flip it. We got a nice dry crepe already on one side. Go ahead and work on scraping it off. Here we are. Okay, flip. I think after this one we'll be done. I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 of them. Hope everybody's doing good still. Make sure to post pictures at the end. I'd love to see all your pictures. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my stove. Let the pan, that's the heat from the pan, just cook the rest of that. And then we're gonna go ahead and move over to filling the crepes. Alrighty, so that one's pretty much done. Go ahead and plate that. Alrighty, now let's move you all over to filling them. Nice and hot. Woo, hot. Let's see. I think we're good right there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my peanut butter and my bananas, and then we're gonna go ahead and fill this crepe here and show you the exact folds on what you can do. I'm gonna show you 2 different folds that you can go ahead and do with your crepes. Got my peanut butter. And I got my banana. So I'm gonna open up my banana. How many of you have been through those conspiracies of opening a banana through the bottom and not through the top, or if the top is even the bottom or the bottom is even the top? I don't really know how it goes. As long as I can get it open, that's all that matters for me. Let me scoot you all back a tad bit. Okay, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to get a knife. Alrighty, the first thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut my banana in slices, probably 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, depending on how you like your slices. In case you need them smaller, go ahead and do so. You don't have to do them this size. You can do them whatever size you like. Alrighty, so what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna go ahead and put some peanut butter on here. I'm gonna go ahead and smooth it. The cool thing about doing it right when they're hot is if you put peanut butter on there, it's gonna go ahead and smooth really easily. If you wait till they cool down a little bit, it might be a little bit harder, and you might have to melt down your actual peanut butter to get it at a good consistency to spread. Okay, so I'm gonna put that's a crazy amount of peanut butter. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and spread this out. You can do it however you please. You can put it all over the crepe, or you can just put it on one side. I shouldn't be eating this. My trainer might yell at me, but I'm doing it for a good cause, so it's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it on just half of my crepe. Let's see what side is better. This side's better, okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my bananas, and I'm gonna place them, oops, getting a little slippery. Whoops, I dropped that one. I can't seem to stay clean. Okay, so I got my bananas and peanut butter. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is fold it over once, and then I'm gonna fold it over twice. So now I got a little tortilla-shaped crepe. That's one. And then let's go ahead and do the other one. I'm gonna show you another roll. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some peanut butter on there. This time I am gonna put it right in the middle. I'm not gonna put it on the sides. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put bananas right in the middle. Alrighty, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fold it over once, and then I'm gonna make sure I keep everything in, and then I'm gonna fold it over like a burrito. So I have a burrito, and then I have this trifold right here. Those are my two crepes that I have. So you can either do a bunch of these burritos, or you can do a crepe in a triangle fold. Now with the last thing I'm gonna go ahead and do, because these are chocolate crepes, is I'm gonna put a little bit of a drizzle on top. Woo! Perfect. Look at how beautiful those are. Crepes. A nice dessert, easy, simple. I'm gonna get one of Malia's little things. Cut it right down the middle and show you all how it looks. Look at that, beautiful crepe. Go ahead and taste it. Wow, that is really good. You can never have too much peanut butter. Ain't that right, Cindy? Actually, yes, I can. Too much peanut butter doesn't do good for me. Alrighty. No, I need to hold this. This is coming out weird. Y'all have any questions or anything? This is really weird. I feel like I'm super zoomed in. Hope everybody's crepe came out. Ooh, I look super sweaty. Hope everybody's crepe came out good. I hope you all enjoyed that. Do y'all have any questions or anything? Remember, we did a triangle crepe and we did a burrito crepe. You can do 3 of these in a line. You can put some whipped cream on them. You can do savory again. You don't have to make them sweet. You could have put some ground beef. You can put some cheese in there, some mushrooms. Doesn't have to be a sweet one. I always get asked, why do you do just sweet stuff? Honestly, sweet stuff is a little bit easier to do for kids. But you can still make this one a savory one, and you can make it nice and easy. Super simple, super good. Y'all have any questions, anything? I'm gonna go ahead and cut this burrito one so you guys can take a look at it. Look at that. A beautiful crepe. You can add some whipped cream into it. You can add whatever you like. Strawberries, whipped cream, peanut butter, chocolate, bananas, strawberries. Anything you like will come out beautiful. These crepes came out excellent. These crepes can be used in anything really, like I said, savory or sweet. Another super cool thing is these are used a lot of in fine dining restaurants just because it is kind of like a nicer version of a pancake. So you can add a lot of things into them. And if you do them a vegan version, you can definitely put them on a healthy option. So it's definitely doable on both sides. Anything else you guys have questions about? Again, you guys, make sure to leave your pictures in the bottom of you all making crepes. Hopefully I get some good pictures of you all. I appreciate you guys. Yes, you're going to want to go ahead and add the vanilla in the batter. The only thing you're not going to want to add is you're going to add your sugar. You're going to want to add your vanilla because it is going to give it the flavoring away from the milk and the flour. You can add vanilla. I would probably add half a teaspoon, not so much, just so it can take away from that flour flavoring. Or you can add other flavorings as well. You can do, if you're gonna do more of a savory, I would probably do like an orange, that you can get that more of a tangy taste. But you definitely want to use a flavoring in there so you can go ahead and change it so it's not so much of a floury pancake taste, it's more of a neutralized taste. So you definitely can, or try it without it. If you're okay with that flavoring, it's gonna have more of that batter taste to it. It's not gonna have a neutral taste to it. So you're more than welcome to use any flavorings you want. Vanilla is more neutral. You use a lot of vanilla in savory as well. Don't think it's just in baking. So feel free to have fun with it. Try it out with different things. I was gonna do a savory one, but I actually had lunch already and I was like, I want something for dessert, nothing too heavy. So this is great. Anything else, guys? Ooh, I'm sweating, it's hot. Alrighty, well, I appreciate you guys logging in with me today. And if you have any other questions, again, please share this video, help out, get more kids involved into it. Post pictures of you guys doing your Post pictures of you guys doing your crepes. Post them in the comments below. Post them in the post. Go to the El Paso Neighborhood Learning for PBS. Post them on there as well. That way everybody can see what we're up to. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. And as well as always, have a flavorful day. Bye, guys.